Well, we ain't got a lot of body. And we're gonna stop there because we don't want
Yeah.
copyright
Hello.
strikes.
Hello.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to On the Anvil, your one-stop shop for everything Dwarven Forge, at least in the news.
We have a very special episode for you this evening.
Yes, for the first time, it's Sylvia behind the screen.
This is not an illusion. Your eyes are not playing tricks. This is really happening.
This is unfortunately, this is really happening.
This is really happening. But you can call me Chris. You can call him Nate. It's fine.
If that's your prerogative, you want to go ahead and click the chat pause do to scroll. Yeah, that way we can just kind of see it going.
We're a little new
Hello,
to this.
I got that touched by an angel lighting. Thanks, Chris. So today we don't have too much in the realm of a lot of news, but we're going to go through a couple of things. Additionally, I'm going to sort of talk about the stretch goal updates that have gone out in today's update, specifically set unlock update. And we're going to go through some of those pieces as a consequence of that. I kind of wanted to show them off. Nate will most likely talk about them next week as well as Eli and Toby tomorrow. We'll probably have some time to talk about those pieces. If there are any issues, audio-wise or visual-wise, just let us know. We'll do
Please
our
let
best.
us know.
We are happy to adjust.
Well, this is the show where we never have any technical difficulties, and that is true.
So if there's anything, just let us know. We'll see what we can do about it. But other than that, I also wanted to do some compatibility stuff, not only with those new stretch goal pieces, very lightly, by the way, mainly because building stuff can take some time. So I just kind of want to, like, if there's things that you're like, oh, I really like to see how that works, we'll probably do some simpler stuff. I'm not going to be able to do like a whole medium-sized build with these pieces tonight. Just because we kind of don't have them since we have pieces off to Adepticon, and also we're doing photo content over this entire week, so we're really trying to generate a lot more compatibility photos. So a lot of those are kind of still tied up there too. So I'm going to do what I can. I think that's enough of a preamble. We can go ahead and start the news.
When in the course of human events.
Yes, and I will attempt my best, even with this light in my way, to read comments as we go. So go ahead and
go ahead. We are ready for the news.
Oh yeah, let's do it.
Let's get into it.
And then you go ahead and come back to the. Yeah. I hope that was enough. I hope that was good. I hope that was. I hope you guys liked that. Whoa, as all Maze says. Whoa. Okay. Yeah. Maybe sometimes you have to do something wrong to understand how you have to do it right, which is not always, and it's actually a bad way to learn. But still. Blue at the mics less than Nate does, so we heard you. Well, there we go. I think maybe I turned down my level instinctually. I looked at how how much green was on the soundboard tonight, and I was like, well, maybe we just drop that down a little bit for my normal speaking voice. Okay, so first up, campaign is hit about 412,000 is the last time.
Last time I checked.
So that's great. We're very we're excited by this trajectory, guys. Like it's obviously 350 backers. We're excited to get more. That's why we're at Adepticon. That's why we're doing a lot more compatibility photos as well. We're hoping that like some people might just be waiting. But anyway, like it's been a good ride so far. We're excited to show off more stuff. And it's also kind of why we've made a slight adjustment to showing off the stretch goals, which leads into the next big point. A lot of people had been expressing the sort of hesitation with, like, it would be nice to see how that composition looks, or it would be nice to know what the price point's going to be on some of these things. And, there's no reason to hide it other than we were kind of excited to hide it and, like, show it off. So that's where I would kind of classify that. So we're happy to show it off. So our next two stretch goal unlocks beyond the LED walls will be the Zenith Dome and the Alpha Cockpit in that order. I'm not going to be talking about intervals tonight, about what thresholds we're going to have to hit. Mainly, I really want to get to the LED wall so you guys can see that. But we will talk about what's in the composition. We will talk about the pieces and the price points. So that's kind of a long and short of it for the rest of the night. Is there any questions on that so far?
Got any questions? What are you saying?
What am I saying?
Yeah.
I don't know. Oh, it's Chris. Okay. Yeah, Augustus plays as Chris. So if you keep seeing that, then that's.
Oh,
that's
I know who he is. We all know who he is.
We got the Dispelled Dice dog toy. Oh, cute. Yeah, the Dispelled dog dice. Have a build of like to see later. Castle walls with bulwarks if possible. Biscuits to catwalks. Yeah, we'll see. We'll see. I'll mark it. I thought I had my notepad here, but I'll mark it. Enjoyment at the domes.
The Thunderdome?
At the Thunderdomes.
Tina Turner.
The revolution has begun. We have overthrown our masters. Long live the new OTA overlords. Hey,
It's true.
I wouldn't want to do this every week, so please no.
But there may be another revolution next week, and we may be deposed. So who knows?
Just okay. So as there's no bigger questions, I suppose I labeled that out pretty well. The next bit of news, tomorrow night we will be having a sculptors Q&A with both Toby and Eli. They were, the big design masterminds behind every sculpt within Sci-Fi Starforged, I should say. So we're gonna have a kind of just a round table. It's gonna be kind of relaxed. I wanted to do something as a replacement. When I got asked to do the streams this week, I was like, well, why don't we do like a replacement of a hamster hobby hang, where we kind of have just a nice roundtable discussion, a little bit more relaxed and a little free form, and just kind of talk about sci-fi in general. Also talk about how we came about some of the decisions in the design, like the whole curve or some of the other things. Eli and Toby also do have dev updates. They have dev diaries that they're doing over the course of our updates. So there will still be stories there, and there will still be like larger explanations there, but we'll probably touch on it a little bit during tomorrow night's stream. That'll be at 6 p.m. Eastern, and again, for our international people, we are on daylight savings, so if you're seeing this as a VOD, just know 6 p.m. EDT, no longer EST. It's great. America's awesome. And finally, on Friday, we'll be revealing the next supply cache at noon. So for those of you who are interested in seeing what the next one is, I think that there's going to be a couple people who are happy with it, and then there's going to be a couple people who are like, couldn't you give it more? And I will say nothing. I won't say anything. What could I say to that? So yeah, I think. Oh, when I get it, yeah.
That is actually in the works.
I've technically been told I have to shave my head because randomly I got asked at the end of Wildlands, and at X amount, we'll shave Tyler's head. And I said, yeah, sure. And that's damnifying.
What he doesn't want you to know is that is actually a wig.
Yeah.
And there's already a mohawk under there that's going to come out.
It's been
but
in the works.
I just let the cat out of the bag, I guess.
Oh, I only have two. So I think that's enough preamble. I think that's enough of the news. There's not really much more to say. Again, our group is at Adepticon. If you are at Adepticon or planning on going or in the area or whatever, and you want to go for a day, go ahead and put that booth number into the chat, either Chris or May.
It's 703.
Is it 703? I almost said 503, so that's why I didn't want to say it. 703, booth 703 at Adepticon. And so we have a couple of builds on display there. Chris also accurately reminded me that there's a few photos in the update that went out today that are actually from the Adepticon builds. So they're kind of close up, but like there are still some photos of those builds proper. And I know that they are also still trying to take photos of the builds at the booth. I believe maybe tomorrow, from what they were saying. They may have some photos now. The communication's a little a little off on a day where they're also like having to build all the tables and everything. So it's convention. So anyway, let's go ahead and move forward. Let me ask you this. I can do a flip of a coin, or you know what? We'll do a flip of a coin. I shouldn't even ask the question. We should just do it. Oh,
It
where
was
is it?
behind my ear the whole time.
Oh.
All
All
right,
right.
that's gonna hurt tomorrow.
So for a heads or tails, we're going to see if we're going to talk about the dome first or if we're going to talk about the cockpit first. All right. Heads, the dome. Tails, the
The
cockpit.
cockpit.
That's tails.
Oh.
So we will talk about the cockpit first. All right.
So
We're
tell
gonna
us
bring
about the
this out.
cockpit.
All right. So I have two. Do we want to go ahead and go to the sniper? And then if you could.
That's not.
Oh, is it not hooked in? I thought it was.
Let's see. That is the sniper, but it's
All right.
got.
All right. Well, we'll just take a second. And is it not on anymore?
I don't know. It's
Because I
just
see it on here. I
just a
see all the
still-
things in it.
Oh no.
Is it not plugged into the? Oh, I got it. I know what it is. I got it.
Technical difficulties. You just stay with us for 1 minute while we fix this up. We appreciate your patience while flying onto orbit for airlines.
So what we're gonna do is
We are experiencing some turbulence. Our flight attendants will be by shortly with some complimentary peanuts to calm you all down.
There we go. I forgot to deactivate and then reactivate the camera. So not so much a technical difficulty as a.
That's enough of that.
So funny. I like it. It's hysterical. Yeah. So we're gonna go ahead and zoom in on this a little bit. So I've got two of these pieces here with me right now. Now understand that some of this is prototypical. We've printed this from our 3D printers, so they're not necessarily as clean as some of our other prototypes that we got made from a third party. But this is a God, I've got to make certain I say it right. It's got a very similar footprint in terms of like its main design as something I would say like as the bay window, in that like the way it actually hooks into any of the other biscuit pegs is the same, and it does go to a full 4-inch though, right? So if I put 2 straight walls right next to it, it's lining up, right? I gotta pull this back, pardon me. So full 4-inch there, about just over 3 inches this direction in the actual, I guess the y-axis. And then obviously it stands the same height, the 2-inch height. What's neat about it too, right? We do have the 360 nature of all of our pieces. So now you have different ways to position it. What's also cool about the top here, right? We have this cutout, so still easy to play, still easy to reach in and do anything, the things you need. But then you can also stack these on top of each other. Right? And those end up lining up. And if I'm moving too quickly, if I'm not saying anything just remotely interesting and you guys want something more distinct, go ahead and put it in a comment or something. Happy to show off something else. I'm still in the sort of throes of what the piece actually is and how many slots are on or whatever. The other like really cool main feature is that the window is going to be removable. So it will have connecting points. And so it will actually like, friction fit. It will peg in to the actual main body, but it effectively is a separated piece. So now you could also use this as a trough or something, or some other kind of design that you would like to use this transparent translucent, I should say, translucent blue piece. And then this ends up also doubling as potentially even just an open balcony or a different form of an entrance, right? On the sides of this piece, we have biscuit holes, right? And at the center of that, there is also a pole accessory hole. Now, we haven't seen any issues, and neither has our factory with that, so that is a confirmed construction.
They were asking if the window is going to be more transparent in the final version, and I think
Let me actually grab something that will better define what the translucency will be in the final product.
Yeah, I believe it won't be completely see-through like a window. Let me get back to me here, but it will, I believe, have a little bit more of a translucency to it. I seem to be alone here in the room by myself. A soliloquy. And yeah, so dead air is not a good thing. So I'll just keep yakking here until he's back. And I think he's back, so we'll just go over to him.
Well, it's funny too because I know that Nate constantly like starts talking when he's going somewhere else too, so it's always so funny. So this is a test piece, right? So this is a test piece from this was like a I think this is a water tile from KS2, but this is a translucent blue casting that they were trying to help us determine if it was going to be possible, if we liked, if it was matte or not. So this is about how translucent it's going to be in its final product. Obviously, this is prototype, so the clear resin can only do so much, and it's not actively tinted in the color in the casting. We had to paint it, so it can get thicker in some areas. It's just a little prototype stuff. So this is the final actual translucency and brief color on it. So there's still one more function. We also have pull accessories here on top. Oh, I got it. Is it on autofocus or something? Yeah. Okay. It's all good. Perfect. Awesome. So yeah, so right up here on top, on both sides, there's also an additional pull accessory hole. So if you had something like, say, the turret will fit either in the biscuit holes for stability, or you can also put the pull accessory hole that's on the bottom, as well as in the center here, and then it would be able to spin. But then you can also put the pull accessory here if you wanted like an angled version of that. Now that works for any of the other pull accessory holes as well. It'll be off kilter off the side. One of the other things that I like that Eli did with this design, right, is the front end here. A lot of people have been seeing this in some of the other builds that were like, are these guns, or are these not? I would sort of label it as it's whatever you want it to be. That's kind of the best part of the design, in my opinion, is that they've got little sort of, it almost looks like a, kind of like a T-screw or a hex screw design on the end, but it kind of gives it like a flared base sort of look. It's neat. Hamster choosing out all these little, picking out all these little lights to color, and he's used that same warm silver that he used on the catwalks for the metal that would be considered the actual like frame of this windshield. So that will also blend really nicely if you end up using that next to those pieces. Most people, I can definitely see somebody building a mech out of this. I think
it almost resembles like ED-209 from RoboCop.
It does.
If you put the tri-barrel cannons on each side.
You have 10 seconds to comply. Yeah. I said in the update we might get to some Verhoeven.
Oh,
sure
who cares
enough.
about Verhoeven? Dutch Auteur, whatever.
Oh, what a weirdo. Yeah. Let's see. The word mechs confirmed. Best answer was a cyberpunk COVID mask. Okay, yeah. Modular mechs confirmed before ships even. I think like kind of in tandem, right? We were asked for BattleTech terrain, and instead we made BattleTech minis. Yeah. Okay. Because again, there's not too much. It's not that there's not more to say about it, but we can show it off in some builds. We can show it off with some other things. And I know you guys have already kind of seen it in the intro video. You've seen it in some of the other places. So I know that you've been excited for it. But if there's anything else I can help, there is an anchor magnet on the opposite side. there as well to help keep it stabilized.
I will also say, because I've noticed in some of the comments, people asking like how it's illuminated, and we did put Lumicubes behind those for
Yes.
the videos. They do not have an LED inside. They're not. They
No,
don't
there's
light
no
up
lights.
themselves.
There's
It was
nothing
all
there.
camera trickery. I'm sorry to say, it was all us. We
But
fooled
also
you.
really easy to accomplish on your own table. Lumicubes are a thing that Nate uses all the time, especially in his convention builds.
Mhm.
So there's a lot of times where people are like, "Where's that red light coming from?" It's like, "Oh, we just put a light down
Yeah.
here to like give off an essence of something."
The pieces themselves also don't fog, although we do have a fogger. But yeah, we do
true
a lot
enough.
of camera trickery and stuff in the videos
Yeah.
just to make them to look good.
And Chris is also right. Tea lights are also another easy solution to like place in a couple of places and start to evoke the ambient light in a build. It also can help accentuate some of the LEDs that you already have. If you have like a blue or a green or something like that, it'll, like if it's a cleaner light, it can help push it. Gotta love water.
Water's good. I've heard good things about water.
Balloon lights.
Yeah.
I know that Nate probably already talked about it. Did Nate also, Chris, do you know, did Nate talk about the LED wall and the bulbs? So not tea lights, not like candles or like actual flame, but tea light like electronic like little tea lights. He showed both of the bulbs in the Monday show. Okay, great. Okay, just wanted to make certain in case. So I think that's all to say about the cockpit, really. The actual composition itself comes with a command console. And that's the other thing that I forgot to say. That's actually the thing that I should show. Let's go back to the
So,
sniper real
Tyler,
quick.
what is a command console?
Oh, the command console is this little guy. If you want to switch back to the,
Whoa!
right? It's our 2-inch console, our little computer screen. And it actually very conveniently, per Eli's design, fits right in here. So you can actually put it, when's it actually?
You broke it.
I ruined it! We're gonna hold this on just a little bit tighter while we do that then. Because they're not actually glued together because we wanted to be able to show off that it's 2 pieces. So,
Yeah.
right, so you can actually set it in here and it'll fit within that groove. It's easier to see from the top down. Bloop. And a Lumicube is, it's just a small square light. Can I grab one of them? Yeah, here, I got it. Right?
Taking my Lumicubes.
Just we can go back to just a small square light.
Used for video. They have 2 of them in the booth and 703 at Adepticon.
And you can
this week.
change with different filters and things like that. It's really neat. It's not like necessary for a game table. It's just neat. We can keep here for a second. But yeah, so the profile actually fits exactly correctly, like exactly in that. And then if you put the walls around it too, you still have enough room to kind of place a miniature in this space. We'll go ahead and grab one of the 25 mils. Oh, is it bothering you? It's so disgusting.
Clean, Christina. This isn't clean. Nothing is clean.
So we're gonna go ahead and zoom in on this a little bit, real quick. Oh, is that as far as it goes? Okay, never mind.
That's as far as it goes.
Yeah, so, right, as the miniature stands next to the console, it's got enough room. You could even still do this with just a 1x2 and some multi-modules as well. Kind of pulls off the same thing if you want just a smaller space here, right? Or even just some variety if that's, you know, what you need or want. Condenses the space a little bit more too because of the modules. Can we see the cockpit with 2 corner walls and a 2x1 centered in between them? Yeah, sure. Happy to. So the thing is, right, the corners are going to match it exactly. So if you want to see it with a 1x2 in the center, it's going to be a little odd. I'll go ahead and move this. Right, you could do it this way. Right? And so now we have that kind of shape.
It's giving New York apartment.
But if you wanted to do it where these are matching, that's all my point is. It's like it would be a little weird to try to do it with this direction. Right? It's still going to work, but it's going to have a little bit of it's going to have some creep on the sides there. Right? It's a little hard to tell, but it's going to have just a little bit of a gap because of the whole curve right there. But other than that, I might also be misunderstanding the direction you're giving, but
Could
those
you use
would be
one of
needle.
the inside corner pieces to fill in that space?
Yeah, you could.
Yeah.
Like there's solutions to that. I just mean like that would be my initial instinct would be something closer to this. But if you wanted to do it that way, you can. There's just no way to there's not a great way to biscuit that. So if it's on the ground, then you're fine. But if you're trying to suspend that, this does not have any purchase between the two biscuits because it's a 4-inch. So that means it actually matches the biscuits,
Oh, yeah.
if that makes sense.
Let's see. They're asking, is it absurd perpendicular to the floor? I don't think so. I mean, you
Like
can.
that?
Yeah.
No, you can certainly use it like this.
In fact, I prefer it like that.
Well, because also the nature of the pieces, right? So the trick would be figuring out the right angle that you want to, figuring out the right way that it would add to your build. Now, if it's up against, right? Even just side profile and stuff, the cut to the negative might be odd for some people, but I think it actually still really works. Especially if you're using it with like a ground texture terrain tray or something like that, and it looks more like something jutting out of the ground. Because then you can also put maybe some stalagmites or you can put some rock features around it, and then it becomes a thing that's bursting out of the ground rather. Maybe a flight deck or a cockpit. Yeah, sure.
How about the diagonal walls? Can you see some
Yeah,
diagonal
yeah.
walls with that piece?
Absolutely.
All my friends love diagonal walls.
All my friends love diagonal walls.
Yeah.
Right, so that's that. But I would probably end up, like, it's nice because the outside angles match the diagonal. So you can even put in
What's he gonna pick?
2 floors like this. Right? Then with just some simple, I'm gonna have to turn it. Then with some simple inside corners, you can fill those spaces very easily. Right?
Can we see the two cockpits upside down and put together?
Just know that this is, again, not like stuck together or anything, so it might just come apart, but that's not the final. There you are.
Like a space greenhouse.
Right. One of the concepts we had for when we were designing this too, that I know that like I believe it was Eli who brought it up. I mean, he was working on the piece the whole time, so like I have to imagine it was him. But it may have just been an exciting talk between people. Right? Even something just like that ends up seeming, when you can elevate this or when you can, biscuit it in between two things. I might as well biscuit it now. I want to show you guys something. Get my hands out of the way. Okay. is just it was like, you know, the bottom of the the bottom of the ship, the barrels, the what is it called, the
Tri-barrel cannon.
basically, yeah, like right, like like utilizing the turrets as well and the cannon. You know, it's a small gunner's station when you have it this way.
Oh yeah.
You can even the opposite direction, right? Like even upside down, you can have it land in here, and then you have your guns on either side. Open it up, even that helps it become more like a mech, I guess, at the end of the day. Looks like a little crab. So yeah. Even just utilizing it one, you know, if you have two of them, utilizing this side to then still push out into another part of a build could be helpful without the extra windshield. And that was kind of the whole purpose of trying to make it removable. Was now you had a little bit more functionality. Now you had a little bit more modularity with the same piece. Chance we can change. Well, we'll see how you think about that, Frida, when we show off the dome too. So, ramps for the wings, yeah. Just 24 cockpits and dome packs with some pipes and alpha core. Honestly, yeah, you could, yeah. Now I want bay doors and landing gear. Absolutely. I mean, the truth is that there was not a. We can go to a side by side with the sniper too. There should be a three-way with the sniper. Yeah. We did have many conversations about many possibilities. And that was why we centered on the objects that we've been doing within this project, was because not only did it have the furthest reach, in our opinion, it also established enough of a base that wherever we went after that was going to be more robust, I guess is what I would say. Like we had an opportunity to make more unique items moving forward than having to continue to make walls upon walls upon walls upon walls if we just did something more neutral, something more standard at the top. What's that?
We didn't want to hit a wall.
Yeah, we didn't want to hit a wall. Creatively.
Right.
Oh, I feel like this is testing for, yeah, modular boats. Of course. Head of a Valkyrie mech. Yeah. Will the pack be called the Modular Dome of Doom? No, it will not. It's a great name, but no. It's just the fact that all this glass stuff is so amazing. Absolutely, that's what I mean. Is that like it's not so much that you're wrong. It's like, oh yeah, either order could have been nice. We were actually back and forth on that. How well do the cockpit windows stand on their own in different ways? Work with other pieces. So they stand on their own fairly well. Obviously, it has a tendency to lean on the side that has more material and actually has something that's like helping keep it up. When you have it this way, it does have just sort of like an ability to sit on its own. In terms of usefulness against other pieces, I wouldn't be able to answer that at this current second, mainly because I don't currently have enough of a use case for it. There's more uses for the actual main body of the cockpit than there is necessarily for the window outside of your own conception. Again, like using it with troughs and things, like using it as places that are like reservoirs or things. But in use against other pieces, right? In terms of sizing, it won't be larger. It's not. It's got a flare, so this side is larger. Sorry, this side is smaller than this side. So it's not always going to be a perfect fit on a lot of stuff. But it's meant to be a useful and interesting piece. And on top of that, it opens the door for us potentially to make different attachments to the front of the cockpit in the future. That's kind of the other thing we were looking at was, is this possible for us to then utilize the outward flares and this part of the base that would then attach to the cockpit and then make different ones in the future that we could vary the direction of it. That's not a confirmed, by the way. That's an idea that we have. It's something that we would look to as we moved forward if it was possible. So sorry, Finley. I don't know if that fully answered your question. You got something? Okay. I was like, if you had something to say as an idea, I'd love to hear it. But I'm like, mostly this is just now this is just a removable piece that you can actually still use as you see fit.
Yeah, probably as I start building with it more, I haven't been able to build with it at all yet.
Right, you haven't been able to build. This is Toby in the room. He's like, yeah, you haven't been able to build it all. So like, with that piece specifically, so Toby will probably find something that's like really.
I'll definitely find something.
Yeah. So yeah. A giant flower pot for flay plants could work. Yeah, yeah. Teleport pad, sure. Yeah, if you stood it on end, it has enough of a square that like you could actually. I wouldn't necessarily trust it in terms of it does lean forward in one direction, so it could be dangerous for some miniatures. I think that should cover it for this piece, and I think we should move to the dome so that way we can go through the dome before we go to the giveaway.
We got any more questions?
So it looks like the round cheeks on the cockpit have similar geometry to the pipes. They do indeed. They are an inch, right? So they will. You're right. It is a bit taller than an inch. It's just that in regards to how it actually fits. It's made so that you can fit the inch diameter that is the pipe. Is what I guess. Yeah, and the guns too. Yeah.
The guns are wired.
Gotta have the guns.
Yes. Just gonna pop a pipe on so you can kind of see. Now, I know that we've done it a couple of times in the photos where we've made either, pipes going off the side of it, but you can also just set that right in there. It has a similar profile right here, a little bit wider, a little bit longer, and it also has a bevel, but for that specific purpose. Oh, there we go. That's the way I wanted it. So now it's a control room? Absolutely.
I believe, depending on which biscuit bowl you use, you can have it be flush to the floor, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, you can have it flush to the floor on this side too, because it's also this curve, this angle also hits directly on that anyway. So like, it's going to be very nice in interior builds as well as part of this exterior. So you can even, right, have them lead into stuff. I guess what I was going to say, right? You can have them lead into each other, and you could still even have.
Kind of looks like between two train cars.
Oh yeah, it does. Yeah, it does look like between two train cars, right? Some sort of like kind of maglev thing. Right. So this is right up against each other. I should try to turn this a bit more. Sorry, guys. Sometimes I get lost in it. But that's gonna be hard to kind of pick up and show. But right, so you can have those meet right up against each other because this is flat. You can put these right up against the wall, and now you can actually utilize them next to each other. Helpful for interior builds, helpful for conceptual just space. Chariots with spikes, sure. All right. Two ends of a light bridge, yeah, like right. Even just putting these out and then terrain tray would end up working better, most likely, right? A printed graphic would end up getting that much cleaner. But you can also start to use your hex fields. As these angles aren't exactly the same, but they're very, very close, right? The interior angle here that you find right there is very close to this one. It's not exactly the same, but it's close enough that like you could mimic this trick pretty easily. You're just trying to test what the Seinfeld button does.
I'm not doing anything.
You're just a sweet, innocent.
I'm a sweet little girl, okay?
Okay.
I'm an angel.
What's the width of the open area of the cockpit? Believe of this area. That's, I think that's like an inch something, because it's just a little bit over an inch, but not by much. And then that is just about 2 inches. The in cut, right, like the bevel cut to it cuts off a little bit, but you also still have room given the interior of the windshield as well, because that dips down. Oh, geez, gotta try to see if I can fit. That dips into it, so you get a little bit extra room because of that.
Would an LED wall fit in there?
Yes, yeah.
I'm hearing yes.
Right. So it fits pretty much right. Like, again, these are prototypes that came from our printer, so some of these things are a little bit off, but like it will fit pretty much right up to the line. Can you put in door inserts in lieu of the cockpit piece? You could put a portal here. It's not necessarily the same. Right? So I could put this here in the same way that the LED wall fits. I can also put a portal. Again, some of this is just prototypical, but the sizing on it is that it would meet pretty closely. You can't put it in the front, right? Like it will fit. I don't remember exactly if it fits between these two right now. But it's you're gonna be hard pressed to like also find a way to keep something like this actually, right? Because you have all of this extra space on the sides. Sorry, I should hold my hand up there. Should probably just drop the camera a little bit if we can, actually, because it's just, or just scoot it closer. If that's all the way zoomed in, then we should just get a little bit closer and just get a little bit tighter on stuff if we can. Thank you. Let's just zoom out a little bit. Bit more. Perfect. Yeah. So now that'll be a little bit easier to angle, I think. Thank you, Sylvia.
Wait, there's
Run for your lives!
Oh,
Did you guys see that elephant go under there?
Tyler didn't make it. Oh wait, no, he's fine. Sorry.
No, I didn't make it. You're right.
No, he's
All right.
he's struggling. He's struggling.
Oh, that's perfectly fine. When an LED keep it door inserts, that allows people with those LED pieces to illuminate their own copies. Yes. Yeah. You don't have to get a Luba Cube. You don't have to get a T light. You don't have to do those things if you already have an LED wall that you want to try to illuminate the inside, as there will be more than enough room within the front to also house an LED.
Have we ever shown the scaffolding from Lowtown with the pipes?
I did not show that tonight, just yet. I should be able to do that in a little bit. We're gonna talk about the dome, and then I can make certain that we still have time for that tonight, because I know you've been asking for it. So,
And we have to save time for the G word,
the giveaway?
the giveaway.
That'll happen in 15 minutes.
Can you say that now? Giveaway?
Giveaway?
Oh my gosh.
Give it away, give it away, give it away now?
It feels rather libertine. Giveaway.
Libertine. What does that mean, libertine?
Libertine,
Is that like
a freewheeling
red coat from-
flaneur?
The French. All right, let's go ahead and move on to the dome.
Let's go to the dome now.
To moss, right?
Mm.
I don't want to make libertine the word. That's too many letters.
Okay. You know, it's funny because the dome, there's a lot of, everybody's talking about the dome. Dome this,
Yeah.
dome that. A lot of buzz
Yeah.
about the dome. Funny thing about the dome, it's not actually a dome. It's 4 corners.
Yeah, I would
together.
classify so
It's a quarter dome.
this is a pieced together version, and I also have a singular version right here that I was going to use as an example. So, right, so we do have this up next.
Coming up next.
The dome is a Toby construction. It is a great little piece. It is singular. It is translucent blue. It has connecting points on the sides here, right? It's got 2 what count as post facade holes on the sides. It's got 2 biscuit holes here and here. Once all 4 come together, now again, this is prototypical, so there's going to be this has some gaps in the end. We're hoping for a cleaner construction. The center, there is a small groove on each of these pieces right here at the top that will then house a full pole accessory. So 4 of them together, or 2 of them together against a floor could potentially work. We'll see. But at least 4 of them together will create a pole accessory hole. So that way you could even place any of your existing pole accessory holes on there, right? Boop. This will go here, or if you really need to protect your little dome, you can put on the small little blaster, or you can put on the big one, right? Turret will also fit the circumference of that. It'll fit it exactly.
See, now that's what I'm talking about.
Right, so we'll even get in just a little bit tighter here.
Oh, now he wants to go in.
Yeah. Right? So as you can see, because of the pole accessory hole on the bottom, it would then fit directly. We can also go to full sniper if we want. Get off of my face.
Oh, well, that's not it.
No, that wasn't it. Okay,
Butterfingers.
so that's the 4-piece dome, right? Now the other nice part about it that Toby has done is it has a similar construction, in my opinion, to any of the roofs that just came out of Cities Untold, right? So fill this space in volumetrically, and that's effectively what we did with the dome, with the roofs from Lowtown. So this also has a lot of compatibility, backwards compatibility with the Cities Untold sets, in that, were you to build them and escalate them, you can then still scoot this back a little bit, right? It's going to build nicely and in line with other things, right? So that's just it against an 2 elevated corners. If you biscuit it in here, I can even just biscuit it now so I can hold on to it less.
I think too, if you watch the intro video closely, you'll see that we've used
You did.
some of the individual pieces in this manner.
Yeah.
And some of the builds that we've done.
So what's cool about it too is that because of this curve, right, Toby's also added some extra material here, so it helps protect it against the whole curve on the actual regular pieces, making it a very clean additive to everything. They freestand on their own, right? Even with this little curve. The interior still has decoration and sculpting. Utilizes the core scheme, just like the cockpit also utilizes the core scheme, the paint scheme. Translucent blue, so again, it's going to be in final production. This will be the actual translucency value of all of the actual inside glass pieces. These are just clear resin that we had to paint blue, so that always comes with a degree of opacity that's beyond what our actual transparent pieces or translucent pieces are capable of. It is also capable of being placed upside down. Again, as a prototypical piece, it will be able to sit cleanly on this opposite side when 4 of these are together. If you were to simply take 2 of them, right, you can now even put 2 of them up against. Let's go ahead and. Right, so now this is either your idea for the edge of a bridge, the underside of a ship hull.
Well, you know what people are going to ask? Could you use 2 of those in with the cockpit?
Of course you could. Now, you could do, like, it's going to be tricky. You wouldn't biscuit them, right? You wouldn't biscuit them this way. But you could biscuit them like this, and now it's a
Thing.
semi-reservoir with this cockpit on the side, right? Sweet, sweet swamp. Let's see. I'm trying to see some of these questions as they're coming in. If the back wall was in line with the piece, the side facades would line up with the biscuits on the wall piece. I believe Toby said yes. Is it 100% transparent blue? I know that was the plan for water. Yes, it is also 100% transparent blue. The whole piece, right? This, where the cockpit gets to be, this will be dungeon gray dwarvenite. The window will then be translucent blue. So this will have just a regular dungeon gray. In the case of the dome, however, the dome will have to be fully cast in translucent. Much like the waterfalls, much like the crystal caverns.
Can you fit a light puck under the dome?
I do not believe we have attempted, but I don't believe so. As the main construction is 4 inches, right, you would not be able to fit it within this circumference. That is too large. That is too small for the light puck, if I recall correctly, but only by a little bit, I think. I can double check that to make certain. Just go ahead and grab one, if I can find one in under 20 seconds.
Tyler will be right back. He's going to find a light puck to try and satisfy some of your requests here in the chat. Here on the Anvil with Dwarven Forge Live. Coming to you from beautiful Brooklyn, where we never have any technical difficulties.
Just gotta go to my desk.
Let's see. Dwarven anecdotes. Oh, sorry, I can't share those. Tyler's coming back. But I can tell you that Starforged is really cool, and you should get it. And I can't wait to get my hands on them myself. What's my favorite piece in sci-fi? Well, actually, you haven't seen it yet. There's maybe one more bean, but I can't tell you what it is. Not yet. We'll see. Get us to $1 million, and I'll tell you what my favorite piece is. How about that? Toby, what's your favorite piece? We got Toby here.
Probably, say, now that the dome is revealed, probably.
The dome,
Toby
for
likes
sure,
the
yeah.
dome. Everyone loves the dome. Who can't
Oh,
love
you had
the
a lot of
dome?
fun building it, too. Like, it was, yeah.
There's partial bias there too, but
One half
Every,
4
yeah,
pi r
lots
squared.
of praise for it. Okay, so I've grabbed a light puck. Again, I'm going to probably say right off the bat, no, given the size of the light puck versus the
No good.
interior here. But we'll test it out. It will still sit over it, but like if you were trying to rest it underneath, I don't believe that's going to. Yeah. So like that's what I mean. Like I don't think that there's a. Sorry guys, I'm just trying to get it situated. All right, here we go. Right. So, yeah, it's because this is basically going to go almost to the edge of the pieces because these are true 4-inch. right? So it doesn't have enough purchase. You basically have to have almost no material here for that to happen. And we need this to pair with everything else. However, it will still fit over it, and it'll actually still fit really cleanly over it. So you could put this under your build, right? And you would still get some. I think you would still get a great use out of it, and there would still be something fun in that because it's still under 4 inches. You could put this here, and you could also still biscuit things off to the side. You could still do a lot of things with your light puck. It just won't fit exactly cleanly inside of it. Is the point I'm trying to get across? Hope that answered.
I've actually been to a rave in a geodesic dome.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, it was part of the Hub Week in Boston.
Oh.
They had a bunch of domes, and they had a rave in one. It was actually pretty fun.
So are there? I feel like I missed a bunch of questions. So do you mind?
Yeah. Let's see.
Yeah, you just have to scroll a couple of times till it catches.
I didn't spill any beans.
Does the Oracle Pool water piece fit in there? It probably won't because it's a similar circumference to the light puck. We can double check, but like again, I'm gonna assume no. You have to elevate the build. Yeah, the light puck is 1 inch. Yeah. Can anything fit in there? I mean, there are things that can fit in there, sure.
A penny.
But again, it's so I think we've got how much of space is that? That's like a centimeter, right? Like it's like a centimeter, right? It's like a 10 millimeter spacing right here on the edges. But then we also, because the other thing to remember is that it's not a clean circle either. It is a polygonal shape. So it's more of a, how many sides is that? Because it kind of looks like a dodeca or something. Because we'd have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Yeah, so it's a 12-sided polygon, really, more than it is a circle. So there will be, that's up to you to like, if there's something that fits in there. Our intention isn't necessarily at this moment or at this stage, we have something that's going to fit this shape or anything. That'd be my answer to that. How well will that sit on a fieldstone building? Can you grab me? It'll fit fine, but
it's a 4-inch thing.
you know what? I can grab it. I can grab it. No. I can do it. I'm already on the way.
Bring us fieldstone. Chop, chop.
Easy enough.
Well, now that everybody's gone, I can spill the beans.
Spill the beans.
But I'm not going to.
And we'll just put in 2 walls for
could,
structure.
but I won't. I shouldn't. I shan't. Oh, what would I do if I spilled the beans? Well,
Sorry.
yeah, I would. Yeah, no, I would never do that. My gosh, how dare you even ask me such a thing?
What beans do you think you know that you can spill?
He's being coy, but
Why do you think I don't tell you nothing?
Get a load of this guy. Square. Sorry.
Oh boy. Oh, we just hit 8 o'clock. I'm gonna show up this fieldstone and then we're gonna do the giveaway.
Good giveaway.
Well, we gotta add that sound button now. Giveaway.
Sounds like something Velma would say.
Yeah.
Jinkies. Giveaway.
Right? Because it's 4 inches, it will fit very cleanly on any 4-inch building within the city's line. And if you put it over a fogger, it can be okay. It's a small porthole at the top, everybody, so I wouldn't really want to have that happen. That would probably, it's not going to be like dangerous. It's just it would. It doesn't. It might have to go. It might have to, like that little lip you have on there. It's like that might have to get taken away. But like the hole that's gonna happen, or it'll just like come out the sides. It's just water vapor. So I'd be happy to test it out when we get closer test shot territory if we make this piece more than I would with prototypes, because prototypes are not going to be completely even.
Also, the edges are made in a way that you can use it freestanding as well.
Which one?
The edge of the dome has like the pipe around it, so like ideally, someone wants it, you can use it more as a freestanding thing.
Yeah, you're right. Because of the outside pipes, you can actually make it as a freestanding piece. Like it can. You don't have as hard of an edge, so like you can still use it as a on its own or just as an additional feature. I don't have enough domes to show you 2 of them stacked on top of each other, but you can also stack 4 on top of 4 domes, right? To make a full sort of sphere trapped into things. No, it's all good. Is Mage Academy all day? Is there a word or no? I was about to decide it. I just wanted to show off the dome real quick, and then we were actually going to go ahead and do it. I think we're going to go with dome.
Dome?
As the word of the day.
All
Dome.
right, dome is hot. Give us
and just dome. Not,
just dome.
Not dome alone.
D-O-M-E. That's dome.
Well
D-O-M-E.
done. Did they answer whether there would be straight sections too? Currently, we do not have straight sections planned. No, not in this project. If that adjusts, if that changes, we will let you know. But at this current moment, no. It's a great idea in terms of it's not something that we wouldn't want to try, but at this current moment, we're kind of caught up with the other things, that this was a good thing to move on right now, and that's why we wanted to do it.
All right.
We're gonna give it just another like minute, and then
We're just gonna give it another minute.
See you later.
Bye.
So again, these pinholes on the side are the same size as what we have been using for our post facades from Lowtown, from Cities Untold. So
What?
so yeah, what? I cannot believe it.
No way.
They have.
Oh yeah.
Just having too much fun over there.
I'm not doing anything.
I actually feel like this is truly the actual real energy of the OTAs anyway. We're not doing anything wrong. We're not doing anything different.
Yeah. Oh.
You know what would be different? You want to talk to me about Crimes of the Future?
Do I want to talk to you about Crimes of the Future?
No.
Well, I mean, how long do you have?
Got about an hour.
Oh, okay.
I'm kidding. The lights are on, but nobody dome. That's good.
There are no LEDs in the dome. Just to
he brings out those drills a lot.
yeah.
See you in court. You can't prove a thing. Perhaps missed it. Does the piece have any pull accessory holes? If you're talking about the dome has a full-size pull accessory hole when 4 of them are used together for the full dome. There is a slot, there's a notch at the top edge, the top corner of the dome pieces themselves, right up in here, that will then, when 4 of them go together, fully create a hole. We have yet to be able to test for 2. These are prototypes, so it's not necessarily reliable to say like, yeah, 2 will also make that happen if they're pressed against a floor or other walls. The sides of the pieces have 5mm depth pull accessory holes, which are more in line with like post facades or wall facades from Lowtown, the things that got put in the corner posts. Now those are definitely more in use to help keep the construction together, but you could end up doing, or maybe we might end up doing in the future, if we make this piece, we might also do a facade that you can put on the front side of it, right? You can put these 2 things together, and then you have something else right here bridging the gap or something like that. So those are the only pull accessory holes on these pieces. But when you have 4 of them together,
What are they? Oh my God, it's a dome.
It's dome, and you can also, right, you could use the pole accessory hole for the turrets.
And now you've got a
They would
killer
fit
dome.
cleanly. You can put any of your other pole accessory holes, pole accessory pieces, I should say.
Yeah.
Let's go ahead and roll that giveaway.
Okay, let's see. And the winner of the giveaway, Aishan Loki.
Ishin
Ishin
Loki.
Loki.
Okay. Well, thank you very much.
Congratulations.
Finley, if you could, just because I couldn't instruct Sil before we started, help us out, get a whisper and get the email that is attached to your game phone. You will get a $50 gift card. We did not say that as part of our
yeah.
giveaway, but it
It's
is a
not a
blanketed
dome.
statement for
But it is
all
a
the giveaways
$50
that are
gift
going
card.
on during Starforged. It is a $50 gift card for you.
50.
Now, another bit of language at this current moment. You can use that gift card for the store, or you can use it during the pledge manager phase of this current campaign. We do not have language or a way to utilize it for your beginning pledge while we're actively in the campaign. If that adjusts, we will let people know. But at this current stage, I would say the answer is going to be a no. And we will be able to take that during the pledge manager. So,
How many domes will $50 get you?
what's that?
How many domes could you get for $50?
What I have not been able to talk about just yet has been the pricing. Now, the pricing is available on the updates where I have revealed the pack compositions. In the Zenith Dome, you will get 2 domes within the pack. Yeah, that's fine. That's perfect. That's exactly what I wanted to happen. You will get 2 domes in the pack. You will also get an antenna. And you will also get
What are they going to get?
an energy unit
Whoa.
on top of that. Right? And I have to double check my numbers, but I'm pretty sure it's 1 and 1.
It's a good little smear of pieces.
Right? Now, this also makes it easy to get up to 4 domes, and you'll also still get 2 of each of these, which the energy unit is a piece that I know is, sought after. We tried to make another pack within the barracks also include the energy unit, so that's another way that people can kind of get that easily and simply. But this was a way that this kind of wrapped the pack together. This pack is $36 painted and $22 unpainted, if I remember correctly, for 2 domes, an energy unit, and an antenna pole accessory.
But nobody's going to get any domes unless they're unlocked. So you know what to do.
Correct.
We need your credit cards. We need your bank accounts. We need your Venmos. And we need them right now.
And we need them today.
We
No,
take
we're
cash.
good. We're
we
fine.
take checks. We take valuables.
The-
Safety deposit box keys. Okay, we'll do the rest. You send them in.
And the cockpit pack at $35 has both of these pieces, as they are, this is removable, but this piece as well as the command console, and that is $35 painted, $22 unpainted for that set. So we will not be able to unlock we won't be able to make those available for purchase until they are unlocked, but we figured that would be a good thing to hear about and learn as you guys are prepping for the rest of your pledges, as you're prepping for the rest of the project. Have something to look forward to. But this also means with 2 domes in this pack, it makes it a lot easier to get up to 4, and we're not, it's not that the 4 dome is not the goal, but it also allows people to say, well, I don't need 4 every time. That was kind of the main goal with the pack composition the way it was so that way, if you needed to get only 6 because you wanted to do 1 full dome, but then you also wanted to do, 2 convenient, right? You wanted to do these 2 off to the side, and having 2 extras was going to make that dream come true. Then that was an easy way to get that done.
You know what I'm thinking?
You
know what I'm thinking?
What?
You put 8 together.
Yeah.
And you got a sphere.
Well, that's what I was saying
Epcot Center.
just before I grabbed the field stone. But yeah.
Yeah.
You know what? That's a good idea, Sil.
Thank you. That was a good idea
It doesn't.
that I came up with on my own.
Yes, and as it is correct, MLQs on that is helpful because we can package it more often and a little bit easier. I'm happy with the pricing, but I wonder how many people will fall into the same half-lordal trap Yeah, that's a question, but like the purpose is to make it available and to make it something that we actually continue to use within our full Star Force line. So um, I don't know. That's what I would say anyway. Is that I think somebody might fall into the floral trap, but it will be easy to get yourself out of that
Yeah.
floral trap.
So the entire dome will be translucent blue if it's unpainted, or
Yes.
will it be clear and you have to paint it blue?
No, it will be
It
translucent
would be
blue.
translucent blue. And you have
Translucent
to
blue
paint
if
the
unpainted.
metal.
You would have to paint the metal. You'd have to paint the core from that. Yeah. Again, the translucent blue will be more like this, so it'll have
Double D, double die.
that much, that you can see through, and then you would have to paint all the other stuff around it. But it would become completely transparent blue. Yeah.
Yeah.
Possible to see the clear come back? No. We like the way we like the blue when it's this. And we like how that looks. It's our preference. And we think that it adds a lot to the experience, and it also helps it make it look more like glass, or even sort of more of a plasta whatever. Conceptually, sci-fi wise. Cockpit, does this fit into the Colt corner piece? Colt corner piece.
Do they mean like the bay window or like the poet's nook thing, perhaps?
They might. Yeah. The window is, again, sort of unique to the actual cockpit piece, if you meant the window. But if you just mean if this is going to line up with a bay window or one of the balconies, yes. It's a similar construction, but the bay window and the balconies are slightly shorter. They didn't go the full 4 inches, if I recall. In fact, I can even grab one of our test shots real quick, and we can verify if I'm wrong.
That's fine. We'll behave.
Yeah, sure you will.
Okay, Tyler's gone. This is it, folks. This is the moment that you've been waiting for. I am going to spill all of our dirty little secrets. We're talking beans. We're talking intel, okay? Classified, top secret information that nobody, but nobody knows. And here it is, coming at you right now, live, in 3, in 2, in 1. Open your ears and get ready for this. And this is all true, by the way, 100% true. None of this is made up. But there are some very top secret beans that are being beamed right now. They're stewing. And they are going to be, gosh, I don't even know how to say this. It kind of defies description in a way. It's like this just fantabulous, ineffable bean to end all beans. And gosh, I mean, I feel like I'm gonna get in trouble if I tell you what it is. I guess all I can say is that it fits fully in with the rest of the Starforge line, and yet the entire line is incomplete without it. So I hope that you do get us over the line so that we get there. Yeah, Tyler is taking longer than I expected. Jumpsuits confirmed. Well, we have jumpsuits, and they are confirmed. Yeah, we might give some away, maybe, if you're good. Maybe if you're not. Let's see. The bean tease is strong with this one. Okay, I know I'm like being a little jokey, jocular, but there is a super top secret bean. There is. But I didn't tell them, and I would never betray the trust of the company. I signed an NDA. When
You
I
work for
joined
the
here.
NBA?
I do work for the NBA.
That's cool.
The NBA? The MLB?
MLB. Okay, so I grabbed a couple of the pieces from Colt to kind of show off with the cockpit. I'm not certain if that's what, again, I'm not specifically certain if that's what you're asking. But again, these biscuit holes will line up. But again, this will line up in the sense that it will meet where the whole curve basically ends on each side because of the biscuit holes. So it would come right into here. Same with if you were to use balcony, right? They're going to match up.
Of course, it does beg the question: why would you have a wooden spaceship?
For people who do Spelljammer, people who do like, you know,
Oh yeah, Treasure Planet or whatever.
exactly.
Yeah.
There's a good enough use case for the compatibility, but because everything, even in the Lowtown smattering of pieces, the biscuits are going to line up because that's just how the biscuits are supposed to be spaced against each other. So you will still be able to put a lot of pieces against this, and it's going to just be about how they actually line up. In my opinion, it would end up being about how they line up against the whole curve interior section, right? And so most of them are going to come up to a clean line. Something like this, however, is not going to be able to because of the inherent sculptural differences, right? Because we made this so specific to Cities Untold, it's not going to be able to pair with this piece in this direction, right? Not even in this direction.
Oh, but I wanted to.
It will fit in this direction, but it's not biscuited, so you could... You didn't think it was going to go that long, did you?
What do you mean?
So this piece will line up this direction if you had it biscuited in the other direction, right? If you have it biscuited from this side and it's just kind of resting on here, you could still get use out of it this way. But that's pretty much the only way that those two pieces will be synonymous with each other.
Let's see.
Wouldn't you like to know? When you run out of scrap metal to build your hideout? Yeah. Will the glass part work with what you have in your hand, Tyler? Sorry. So if you're talking about the window, no. Right? This can sit next to it. You could, again, place it, and the outer edges of this will line up at least somewhat. But it's not going to fit specifically. That's not how these pieces were made, and that's not how this piece is made. This is very unique to the cockpit. It's not going to have a lot of compatibility in terms of its shape with everything else in terms of fitting neatly and cleanly. There's going to be a lot of like, I'm okay with this, and I want to show this off. But it is very specifically built for this piece. And the removability was about accentuating this piece more so than it was about accentuating the windshield because of its uniqueness, because of the uniqueness of its design. Hopefully that answers that question too. Yeah. Is that like we sort of prioritized the main body more than the windshield, as this has a harder time being unique to this piece and then compatible with everything else versus this thing being unique and then backwards compatible. Repairs on a crashed ship. Maybe the spaceship crashed in a building was made around it. Don't waste materials. Yep. Out that button there is a trap. The piece balcony. Does it work with... Yeah, sorry. The balcony, similar thing, right? Like, it's not going to be a thing that I would recommend, but like it does have a similar angle that you could probably force it on there a little bit in this direction. Probably not this direction, but you know, you could see what you could do.
Yeah. What about two domes upside down at the end of a hallway, like a viewing area?
Yeah, yeah. So two domes, right? If you were to right?
Hmm.
These will match up to the edges there because they match the same heights no matter what. So just forgive my fingers if they slide a little bit.
Yeah,
Now this will freestand.
cockpit who?
This won't necessarily freestand this direction, right? Because it's kind of top heavy on this side. So you could also there's not a way to utilize. I actually don't believe these might line up again because of a prototype. I haven't been able to test this out. We're wanting to test out if this hole matches the hole on the biscuits when they're utilized like this. It's fairly close. We're fairly certain it will match up. We just haven't been able to test it outside of, I believe, in digital. But we don't really have like a great representation of it working in person just yet. But our intention is that those should be able to line up with those parts so that then it will freestand when used with the pegs instead of just trying to freestand it on its own, which it won't do because it's top heavy.
That's great.
Da-da-da-da-dee.
Do you guys have any other just general Starforged questions?
Yeah.
Or any other questions for us
Right.
while we're here?
I know I said I would probably try to do a compatibility build, but we're already at 8:20, so we may even call it a little bit earlier tonight, just because I think it might be better to do that and continue to talk about these pieces right now, because we've already been doing a lot with just even these pieces, and try to help assuage any other things. How many stars can we actually forge with these pieces? I mean, how long you got?
525,000.
Then you can make 1 star.
Oh, yeah.
It's basically 1 star a year, you know. It's just the amount of compression. What button? What did I? Oh, you missed the screaming baby.
His name was Tyler. That's the screaming baby.
Oh, scaffolding build. Yes. I'm so sorry. I can do that real quick, actually. Yes, absolutely. I didn't mean to say I wanted to end it too early. I just meant like we'll probably start wrapping up. I won't do like a too big of a build, but I can definitely do the scaffolds as you've asked. And you've been very patient. Let me go ahead and grab some of those scaffolding pieces.
Yeah, you go
and we
ahead
can
and
show
do
off.
that. Okay, thank God he's gone again. This is it, the moment you've all been waiting for, and I'm not gonna Lucy your football this time. Okay. Yeah. Although it's so funny. Oh my gosh, what was it? I actually completely forgot what the bean was. And it's my favorite piece. How could I do that? It's been a long day. It's been a long campaign so far. A week. Jumpsuits. Are lentil beans actually pulses, aren't they? Or what are they called? Like chickpeas? Sometimes drinking helps. Well, drinking's bad. We all do it, but we shouldn't. Pulses beans. Yeah, that's. But yeah, I don't know. Do you want any hot goss about Tyler while he's out of the room? You want me to spill the tea? There's really not too much. We're very scandal-free studio. What stretch goal is Nate dyeing his hair again? Well, get us to $1 million and I can tell you what it is. I've heard that a glass of wine a day keeps the doctor away. That said, I hate wine.
Okay, we're gonna put these down. I'm gonna zoom out a little bit.
Will Tyler and Chris going to dye their hair? You know, Chris has been telling me for a long time that he's wanted to go blonde. Like bleach.
Just super
blonde.
privately. He's only said it
Platinum
in
blonde,
private.
Yeah.
We go to Sniper.
So that's potentially in the cards. And Tyler has also expressed some reservations about his hair
Oh yeah.
color.
And how much I hate it.
Mhm.
Yeah, I have to shave my head, guy. um, what stretch goal is Nate dyeing his hair again? We'll probably set it lower than last time. Okay, so I've grabbed scaffolding pieces, and I wanted to make certain that you got to ask maybe some of the specific things that you were hoping to see between the scaffolding and the catwalks, as I understood it. If I'm misunderstanding, please let me know. But the pieces here that we can utilize.
Let's see, Tyler. I don't think.
Still here?
No, I think you're having mic issues.
All right, let me double check.
Should we switch you out?
No. Yeah, I guess it's died.
Okay. Well, this is again the show where we have no technical difficulties, so we will just get you a new color.
This one is. Here. Oh, we should actually, before I do that, we should make sure that they're off. No, don't do that. No, because it's gonna blow them up. So now we go to the aux. Great. Make certain it's actually in before we turn it on.
Yeah, our
Am I unmuted?
yes, you're unmuted.
Because the red would mute. And then now you guys should be able to hear me, correct? Testing? Yeah, I'm seeing it go up. Okay. This is usually when Nate just says goodnight. All right. Yeah, that's right. Yeah. Chris has been dictating that. So yeah, I'm just wanted to double check your catwalk question or your scaffolding questions. Were they about seeing these in? Wait, are you muted now?
Well, I muted myself because they thought I was echoing.
Oh, that may have been. So wanted to double check what you wanted to see with scaffolding. Was it about catwalks? Was it about blah blah blah? Are we all back now? No.
We can hear you now.
Let me double check. I'm good.
You're on yellow? Yeah.
Yeah, pipes with scaffolding. Understood. What I can do in as quick amount of time as I can.
I think they'd really like to see the railings with the pipes. We can hear Tyler on Sill's mic. All right. Well,
Yeah, imagine. I know you probably can't hear me right now, everybody. I'm saying this to Sil. So we may have to go in and deactivate the microphone or something like that, but we don't have time. So it's fine. If you want to relay that, you can.
yeah.
So yeah, we're definitely having a little bit of a mic issue. We're not going to try to solve it right now. I'm going to try to still build. Basically, just if you see me struggling right now, this is because prototypes they're hard resin, and so these pegs can be really tough to get in there. They are lining up correctly. I'm going to show it on the big cam, but like they are lining up where they need to line up to be correct. But it's just, again, it's a prototype. It's resin. It's hard, so it's not taking as much as like the scaffolding does. Let's get back just a little bit, sir. Fine.
Look at those pegs.
Yeah. So if you just want to say what I'm about to say because they can't hear me.
Sure. Well, I
It's
think they
lining
I
up
think they can hear you on my mic. Can you guys hear him on my mic?
If I'm talking right now, you guys can hear me?
We can. It's very quiet.
Perfectly fine.
Mm.
I'll raise my voice.
Yeah, he has no problem doing that.
So the again, the pegs line up. It's just a hard prototype. So they are going to be able to utilize the same the same scale. Additionally, they will fit over the just like in the scaffolding, right? So when we see it in the scaffolding, it fits over the top. And I'm gonna have to zoom
Yeah.
back. So it fits cleanly inside the actual scaffolding platform. And so yeah, that's how it's going to end up in the actual catwalk as well. It's going to be the same line, so these are going to line up where they should. It's just hard to get it in there because of the resin. But in that same way, right? These all then line up in the same fashion as everything else lines up. So you can even still just biscuit these together if you absolutely want to, right off the side of your scaffolding, or you can even, in the top, so you can also actually have that look off the side. I know I showed that photo before on the actual Discord, but that's also another neat trick to try to like show off a pipe on a half. But it also doubles as like a small lip, right? This kind of makes it almost function similarly to a railing, but a very short one. We'll talk about it tomorrow. In some of the original designs of the catwalks, we had thought we were going to use these as railings, and as we continued forward, we realized we wanted the barricades instead, and so the barricades actually became a much more reliable source for a railing or something that was closer to what was shown off in Lowtown. It wasn't probably we can hear you because we can't hear my zone.
I'll make sure to whisper.
Copy a DS3. Yeah. Okay, so even just kind of showing off a little bit more about how these. One thing that we don't have in the catwalks versus the Lowtown scaffolding, for instance, is just a straight up diagonal piece, right? So that's going to be something that's going to be interesting to try to work into everything else if you end up utilizing this piece with your, like, the square sides, you're going to be fine. You're going to be able to go off in some neat directions, but as soon as you start trying to do the diagonals with your catwalks, it's going to create maybe some alignment snafus, but for the most part, it's not going to come up too often. It's a piece. A diagonal catwalk thing is definitely something for the future of catwalks and pipelines that we are considering, as well as how we would want to fully develop that further. Like, what pieces out of the catwalks and pipelines are quote unquote missing that would help like advance the set is the real way I would position that. Additionally, you can also still use the right. Now this won't necessarily line up to perfectly to a pylon in that it's just a slight difference. It's like a 0.1 millimeter difference, but it will still line up fairly closely. I'm trying to. Yeah, it's like it's a minor difference for sure. But that's also why we have the piling footers and stuff for this one. Trying to think of anything else to like decidedly show off. But obviously with the pylons too, you can now put these at a higher angle than not a higher angle because these are right? Because these match very similarly. You can put that between two pylons, or utilize your stair pillar from Lowtown as well to give it an additional hangout over here. Put this with the pylon, with the piling footer underneath, right? And you'll fill this gap that's right here. Little piling footer. I couldn't find the piling footer. It's a smaller piece, so I was trying to. We got the organization on that is a little sloppy right now. I wish I could have shown that off. But
We're all a little sloppy right
a
now.
lot of compatibility still within these two systems. Again, because they're utilizing biscuit pegs, right? They're using the same raw geometry in terms of where the actual biscuits are placed, where the biscuit holes are placed, and the actual just general sizing of everything is very similar. Right, 2 inches, 2 inches. So the main difference, of course, is going to be the difference in the height. Like I've said before a couple of different times, those are going to be where these pieces differ. Additionally, the scaffolding is also a 360 sculpt, funny enough, but it is more because you will end up seeing the bottom, or you can use it as a reverse sort of piece anyway. But then this is also where you can put the pole accessories to then also push these up in the center of builds, so you can actually keep more of a structure within your scaffolding. Where these don't have anything like that, they will routinely kind of want a pylon, and that's why we made that piece, was so that it would actually help keep the structure of everything in the integral parts of it. You can also obviously use, right? You can obviously use your multi-module as an additional support underneath any of your catwalks. So that's also another tool within the Starforged box to kind of do some of the things that in scaffolding we absolutely required pilings and other ways to make like the actual constructions. We can pull off a little bit more with these because we don't need to because with the pylon construction it's a lot different. It's a lot better. I shouldn't say a lot better. I just need to say like it's just different. You can also, if you wanted to, right, you can start with the top hole. Any of these top holes, you can make some interesting angled structures, right? Now you can also use your scaffolding as in the reverse way that we've been talking about with the
It's giving
catwalks.
billboard.
What's that?
It's giving billboard.
Ooh, billboard. All right, this is a trick you can actually still do with your catwalks, but if you wanted to say, put this next to each other, right? Have a scaffold angled upward, and have that metal. Now it kind of looks like more maybe something built into a rafter or something like that,
Or a billboard.
or a billboard. We don't know enough bills to give them a whole board. You like that joke?
I was bored.
Was there anything else to show off about this? Or is there anything other?
They
Any other?
biscuit a pipe into that attached to the turret cone.
Looks like they're gone, but that's fine. The check on the scaffolding. Just get a pipe into that, attach it to the turret cone. Absolutely, Finley. It's all good. I didn't notice until I was already asking the question again. I think with that we are going to go ahead and let's go to the two.
Let's
go to the two shot. We're going to go ahead and we're going to call it a night, everybody. But how do the wooden pole ladders look with the pipes? I am happy to show that off. Let's go back to the sniper real quick. Right. So we made the metal ladder the same size as the wooden ladder. Right? So this will actually be synonymous with the same system. But thank you so much, everybody, for your time. Thank you for joining us tonight. Thank
Yes.
you for joining Syl and I. I think I oversold how much we were going to talk about other stuff
Yeah.
when we ended up
We-
talking so
we
much about these
could've,
new
but-
pieces and showing them off. I'm certain that Nate will want to play with them as well. Toby will want to mess around with them, and we're going to be doing more compatibility photos with those pieces. He's been really looking forward to doing that, so that's going to be on the docket. Again, tomorrow we have a Q&A with the sculptors Eli and Toby. We're going to be talking about, I'm going to sneeze. We're going to be talking about the next steps towards, not next steps, geez. We're going to be talking about these pieces. We're going to be talking about the pieces of Starforged and just kind of what they like about sci-fi and what they don't. It's going to be kind of relaxed, again, much more like the hamster hobby hang, where we're going to be kind of just wanting to discuss things and take audience questions about like what they're curious about. So it's much more about the design than specifically what's coming up and how do you build this thing. And I guarantee you that Toby and Eli are also going to have build advice and why they made certain things, why they made the cockpit have this one extra feature, why we chose the whole curve that we did. Those are all still kind of examples in dev diaries, but
And
it'll come up.
they'll probably have some technical difficulties too. I'll make sure of that.
But thank you so much. And Friday, a new supply cache. And Friday, we're going to attempt our best to do a kill team board. The unfortunate part is it's going to be like, I think the reality of the situation is none of us have played kill team. So yet again, it's a situation where it's like, that would be really nice to be able to do with a little bit more confidence. So we're gonna test the waters tomorrow, prior to this stream at 6 p.m. tomorrow, 6 p.m. Eastern, and
Yeah.
that's it. That's all I really got to say to you.
Be
You wanna
there
say anything
or
at
be
the
square.
end of your-
Well,
at the end of this?
thank you for coming with us on this journey tonight. This was a strange and new experience for all of us, and hopefully not the last.
And hopefully, only the first.
The first of many.
Thank you so much, everybody.
Thank you so
and,
much.
We will get that gift card out to the person who won.
Indeed.
Thank
You. Be seeing you.
you. Yeah. You didn't stop yet?